Hi class, in this module we're going to take a look at linear equations, and also the main topic is solving linear equations. And what you have here on the first page is the basic definitions that are going to show up in some of the problems. And let's take a look at example 1. And well, before we actually take a look at example 1, let's talk a little bit about solutions of equations. Now on problem 1, take a second and read it. They want us to verify if a specific value, in this case x is equal to -3, it's a solution to this equation. Now, in terms of solutions, we're looking at this definition here. And a solution happens to be part of an equation if you plug it in and you obtain a true statement. So we're talking about a true statement such as 5 is equal to 5, 4 is equal to 4, or any statement of this form once you plug in a specific value. So for example, if we take a look at example 1, they want us to verify that x is equal to -3 is a solution. So in this case, evaluate, we're talking about x is equal to -3. And to the given equation is 5x minus 2 is equal to 8x plus 7. And what we're going to do here is plug in the given x value. So let me just rewrite it underneath. So we're talking about 5 times -3 minus 2 is equal to 8 times -3 plus 7. And it is going to be a solution if you plug it in and we obtain a true statement. So on the left hand side, we're going to end up with the values of -15 minus 2. And this is equal to -24 plus 7. And on the left hand side, we end up with -17 is equal to, and on the right hand side, we also end up with -17. And in this case, this is in fact a true statement. And we would say that yes, x is equal to -3 is a solution to, in this case, 5x minus 2 is equal to 8x plus 7. And let me just box it in because they are asking us to verify it. So we're looking at a yes or no answer. And the last portion, they want us to graph it. So let me just write the graph here. Now, for the graph of the solution, you're technically looking at the number line, and we typically just write 0. In this case, -1, -2, and -3 is here. And your solution for the graph is the dot. So in this case, you're writing a dot and that position, and that happens to be the solution to the graph. So it is not sufficient just to put the -3. You're looking for the dot. That's actually it for problem 1. And once again, we're looking for this step if we're verifying that a specific value happens to be a solution to the equation, meaning that once you plug it in, you end up with a true statement. Here, this -17, if we had done algebra, could look different. It could say 2 is equal to 2, but you're looking at the basic idea of a true statement. Let's take a look at example 2. And in example 2, they're looking for m is equal to -1. So in this case, evaluate m is equal to -1 into m plus 9 is equal to m plus 5. And remember that when you're plugging it in, well, you're evaluating it into the m. The order matters. So here, I'm just going to keep the -1 plus 9 is equal to a -1 plus 5. So on the left hand side, we end up with 8. On the right hand side, we end up with 4. Now, in this case, this is a false statement. It does not qualify as a solution, so we would simply say no, m is equal to -1. Is not a solution to m plus 9, which is equal to the values of m plus 5. We're not providing a graph. They're not asking for a graph. But remember that for a given solution, we're expecting to plug in the x value, or in this case, the m value, the proposed solution, and obtain a true statement like the previous one of -17 is equal to -17. If after you plug it in, you end up with any false statement, in that case, it is not a solution. Let's take a look at the next problem. And they're looking at a is equal to 5. So let's actually evaluate a is equal to 5. And we end up with -4 times a plus 1 is equal to 6 times 1 minus a. And remember that we're plugging in 5, which is the possible solution here. And after we plug it in, we're going to end up with -4 is equal to 5 plus 1. This is equal to 6 times 1 minus 5. Or -4 times 6 is equal to 6 times -4. Or -24 is equal to -24, which is actually true. So in this case, we would also say that yes, a is equal to 5 is a solution to -4 times a plus 1, which is equal to 6 times 1 minus a. That happens to be it for example 3. Once again, we're looking for solutions or values that when you plug in, create a true statement. Let's take a look at example 4. Actually, problem 4. And in problem 4, there's another definition that it's actually coming up, which is equivalent equations. So let me move up to the basic definition of equivalent equations. And in this case, this is what we're looking at. And any equivalent equation would have to have the same solution, or it's just written in a different form, but it ends up being the same equation if it has the same solution. In this case, we're talking about linear equations. So there's no exponents on any of these. So for this problem, we could actually approach it in different ways, but let's actually do what we did on the previous ones for the part A and just evaluate. So in this case, evaluate x is equal to 2, and we end up with 8x minus 5 is equal to x plus 9. So 8 times 2 minus 5 is equal to 2 plus 9. And remember that when you're evaluating, it goes into the specific variable, in this case your x's. So we end up with 16 minus 5 is equal to 11, or 11 is equal to 11, and this is technically true. So you would say yes, x is equal to 2 is a solution to 8x minus 5, which is equal to x plus 9. Now, for the second one, we could technically plug it in, but let me actually solve this one. And when you're solving equations, these are the main rules, which you technically have here. And this is the basic principles of equality, which basically summarize to the following. Whatever operation you do to one side, you have to do it to the other side. So if you're ending up subtracting a value, it has to be subtracted from both sides of the equation. If you end up adding, you add the same quantity. If you end up dividing, same quantity except 0. And if you end up multiplying, same quantity except 0. So in other words, whatever you do to the left-hand side, you have to do it to the other side of the equation as well. So for this particular one, what we could do is I'm going to simply add 5 to both sides. And this is going to give us 7x, which is equal to the values of 14. And you will notice that that's equation C. And then at this point, what I'm going to do to isolate the variable is divide by 7, and you would end up with x is equal to 2. And then technically here you could say that yes, x is equal to 2 is a solution to 7x minus 5 minus 9. For C, let me plug it in just so that we see it here. So in this case, evaluate x is equal to 2, and you're going to end up with 7x is equal to 14. Plugging in the 2, we end up with 7 times 2 is equal to 14. Let me fix this 14. Or 14 is equal to 14, which is technically true. And then we would also say that, yes, x is equal to 2 is a solution to 7x is equal to 14. And notice that, well, our equations, we technically have them as 7x is equal to 14. Doing a couple of algebra with problem B, we ended up with 7x is equal to 14. And if we were to pick this equation, which is equation A, and let me just rewrite it as, well, in this case, 8x minus 5 is equal to x plus 9. And if you subtract the x's, you would end up with 7x minus 5 is equal to 9. And adding the 5's, we would end up with 7x is equal to 14. And you will notice that, well, all three equations are technically the same. And that's because they have the same solution, or therefore they're equivalent equations. So every equation, you can actually rewrite it as 7x14 or as one of the previous ones. In this case, we concluded that yes, x is equal to 2 is a solution to every one of the equations. Are the above equivalent equations? You would say yes. Equations A, B, and C all have the same solution. And yes, they're equivalent equations. That's actually it for this one. So any set of equations that have the same solution happen to be equivalent equations.